York Comic Con.
Was that you, the author, asking for the soda?
That's me, James, asking
Right out of the gun, Dave. Yeah, we're starting, and you're just like,
That's Brody. Come on.
no,
Just give me the business.
Why? That's how every dumb interview goes. When they're like, all right, we're going to start it up. Here's the premise, and they're going to ask them questions that they've answered a million times. This is live right now. I don't even know why we're talking to them.
There are no dumb questions.
No, there are no dumb
There are
questions.
only dumb jokers.
Dumb answers.
Dumb answers.
Well, our reputation with this show has been very good, but our luck has always been bad because we can never get all four of you at the same time, whether it's in San Diego, whether it's on the TBS yacht or IMDb yacht with Kevin.
It's for the best.
Yeah.
It's really
half the time it's Quinn's not here because you're doing Rick and Morty stuff.
I'm off doing shit, man. You know,
I will say I don't know anyone else, any other people in my life that I meet up with more at convention centers more than you guys.
Yeah, we're
you guys
everywhere.
every time I'm at a convention center, I'm with you guys.
So now we're after this. Now you're gonna be like, it's those guys again.
No, what are you talking about? We look forward to this one all the time.
Well, the Impractical Jokers are here. Sal, Murr, Quinn, Giddles, and me here, and also joining us, mutual friend David Brody from the Elvis Duran Morning Show.
I came to buy comic books and T-shirts. And he says, "Oh, let's just go say hi to the guys." I'm like, "All right, that's fine, sure." He's like, "You're doing the interview with me."
now you're working.
Apparently, I watch the show, which he does. I'm just kidding. No, I said. So he's like, "You sit down. We'll give you a microphone. You'll talk." I said, "I don't need. What am I going to ask them?" He's like, "I hope you ask them something. We got to kill time." So I'm going to ask you something. I got to tell you, Brian. We do a podcast with Skiri from my morning show called The Brooklyn Boys. It's doing very well. We had Joe on a while back, and we're doing a live read for this hot dog company that was founded by two guys, two brothers, Michael and James Quinn.
Okay.
And so we're doing the read, and he goes, "Yeah, started by Brian Quinn." And I go, like, "Dude, stop rolling. That's the guy from Practical Jokers."
Yeah, no.
I go, "You have it on the brain." So you have no relation to the hot dog guys.
I wish. They probably make a lot of money.
Yeah, so maybe you should get some. But my point was, we're such fans of you guys that you've permeated what normal things we do. We just work you guys in.
I want to actually accelerate that. I don't even want you to need the name. I want you to see hot dogs and think of me.
Like I do.
Yeah.
We're only the pigs in the blanket.
That's it. Whatever, man. The fun size. We call it fun size.
People think of me when they see the bun. I don't know why.
So we just watched your press conference, but we couldn't really hear anything from back here. So we're kind of wondering, what's the announcement? What's going on? What's the big news?
There is.
The movie comes out next year. We're done. We saw the first cut of it about a couple weeks ago, and comes out next year in theaters. We're really excited.
Yeah, those are the big ones. The movie next year and we're finished filming season 7 this week, and we'll start season 8 in January. And then the brand new tour, which we were just speaking about, it only started a couple months ago. We'll be doing that for 2 years. It's still very, very new. That's the Crangis McBasketball World's Comedy Tour.
Yeah.
I have to ask you a question about that. That's from a bit you guys did where you were in the waiting room and you were calling out names, right?
100%.
One of the best scenes of all that you've done. I just love it. Did you guys fight over how to spell that name for the tour? Like, because Crangis McBasketball, I mean, Crangis could be spelled, I guess, a bunch of different ways.
It was a debate.
We had to write it down.
We had to go back to the episode to see how we spelled it on TV.
Okay, so whoever went there, that's how the tour was named.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, with merchandise and T-shirts, you got to get it a certain way.
But the debate was US or IS, right? Crangis.
Yeah, IS.
Crangis.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, you pick. No, really, because you do pick up on a good. Because we write those names.
Right.
And the spelling has a lot to do with the joke.
Right.
And how they're going to be able to sound it out, and how the viewer is going to look at it. So, like, I've written, like, if I had a name that I wanted to give them, I've probably crossed it out and written it like 5 ways, and I'm like, that's the funniest way to write it.
Well, also, the spelling has to do is important because that determines whether the network will blur that or not.
Right, because you do the Chiron on it.
Yeah.
So phonetically, you want it to sound right, but then you also can get away with a lot if it's not spelled that way, but it sounds that way. You know what I mean?
Like Schitt's Creek.
Right.
The TV show, right.
Darcy O'Queef.
So now, the other guys wrote that name for you. Do you guys remember who wrote that name?
I don't remember.
My
Casey,
guess is
right?
going to be McCarthy, but it
Casey
could have been
McCarthy?
Casey.
Okay, so none of you guys did it. So you
Not
don't.
that
We all
No.
team up. It was some we write, some that it's a whole pool of us.
Because it was your line on the show.
Yeah.
But now it's the tour name, so I would imagine somebody's going, that was me.
Well, Courageous Basketball was improvised, right?
Yeah, well, Courageous Basketball was
In the first, it wasn't
It's just so funny every time I hear it.
it was part of another bit where we were just doing a straight do and say what you're told bit, and I was the receptionist, and they had me call for this person, and then when we were done, I was like, you know what? That is so fun. We might be able to make a whole bit out of that, and then here we are. 5 bits later, we've done it a bunch now.
So you just said the movie's coming out soon. I know you finished it not too long ago, but you guys write and execute for the television show, which is, a task at hand there. But how much more is it elevated when you're doing the movie? Like, how much more frustrating, how much more pressure is on you to shoot the movie than it is the television show?
It was a lot more pressure, I'd say, right?
Yeah,
And
pressure. The process wasn't harder because
the process
far less
actually,
bits than you do in a season.
Right.
So
We
and the
wrote.
process
we
felt
wrote
like
a lot of
season
the
one
movie.
again, right?
Yeah.
We sat in
Yeah.
our offices and wrote a lot of the movie. The movie's got to be written so far ahead to get all the locations and plan it all out. So we wrote it, and we still wrote on the fly, but that kind of settled in. But the actual filming of them and things like that
was horrible.
was stressful.
Yeah.
We were out of our element. We weren't with our normal team. There's a lot less, like he just said, and so you got to kind of swing for the fences and make sure each one is good.
Right.
Where with the show, we're doing at such a high volume that not that we don't feel that way, but that pressure's not there.
a turd could fly through every once in a while. We'll
It
bury
could
it
and
in the
does.
third act just before the punishment. We're fine.
For the movie, you're like, if this doesn't work, we don't have a lot to burn here, so.
Put it in the super tease, like it'll be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're running out of time. They're waving
Really?
to get you guys. There's so many people dying for your love and affection and your attention that we kind of have to share you with the
We
rest
can keep
of
it
the world.
going. We can keep it going.
Let's see what we got next.
You want one more
One
question?
more question. When you guys do the punishments, you'll always like tease and you'll blur out the person who it is.
Yeah.
But when I watch with my kids, they all try to guess who it is based on your body size. When it's you, Murr, it's pretty obvious because you're the smallest.
I look emaciated.
But like
Yeah.
as you guys fluctuate, Joe goes up and down, whatever.
Yeah.
Does it become easier or harder? Do you think about like if we blur only the face, they're going to see it's my body?
Well, we didn't want to do that. That was a network. We actually don't like those teases.
Okay.
The network was like, well, then how are people going to know to stay around to the end of the show? And we're like, how about the format of the show for 7 years?
Right.
But it's their money, so they overruled us on
Okay.
that. But we don't like that either.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. I didn't want to imply it.
I think you can always tell who it is.
It's fun. Yeah, you can always tell who it is.
You watch a show, you know our clothes, you know everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're a wrestling fan. They should do what WWE does. That basic silhouette.
Yeah.
Like who's going to qualify for
Oh,
the
yeah.
elimination
Right,
thing at the
that's
end
it.
and is going to join them for the
Right.
next pay-per-view. And you look at the outline and like,
just a
that's
question
nobody
mark
on the
on the black.
roster who it is.
Yeah.
And then they put the person in who won and go, yeah, that looks nothing like the silhouette.
Yeah. Right. That would
Maybe
be
you might be onto something.
At one point, I think Casey needs to be the loser.
Yeah.
I think
He already is, trust
well,
me.
but I just turn it on him and like, you know what? We decided it's a 4-way tie. You lose.
Yeah.
Just punish him once. Just mess his hair up.
We
a
have to
little.
do another 4-way punishment. We haven't done that since season 1, right?
Hasn't
We'll
worked
see
out,
if we
yeah.
all full lose.
Yeah.
All right, can you give out the plugs before we get out of here?
We have
Because
plugs?
they're really waiting to.
Oh,
when's
because
the
we're
movie?
10 minutes
When's
late
the
for something else. Okay.
The movie, the new seasons, all that stuff.
Hey everybody, it's the Impractical Jokers. New episodes on True TV every Thursday night at 10. Season 8 starts next year, and the movie comes out 2019.
Thank you guys
Tour,
so much,
tour.
man.
There you go.
The tour. Mention the tour.
Pretendolins.com for all our tour dates. There's a million of them. And if your city's not up there, it will be.
And you're still doing your stand-up stuff.
Stand up. Same for me. I'm everywhere.
All right.
I'm like a virus, so what do you call it? I don't know.
I know you're on everybody's radio show. You're on.
Yeah.
I see you down at the Cellar. I see you at all these
Yes,
places.
sir. Yes, sir.
Guys, thank you so much
Thanks,
for your time.
guys.
We appreciate it. I know it's
Wish
been
we had more
rushed,
time,
but yeah,
yeah.
I wish it's always the way.
It's always nice to see you guys, for real.
You too, man.
Yeah.
We appreciate
At least you
it.
got me this time.
I know. Thank
There you
you.